When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're in the championship rounds with King of Essex. So let's get to it. Straight out the gate, we're going to recap Caroline Dubois' IBO title defense. I know some people hate to recognize it because it's a smaller unification or sanctioning body, but she captured the WBC Interim lightweight division title from Maira Moneo out of Argentina. Rough-ish fight. Moreno became very physical at certain bouts in the fight. Dubois, of course, is a southpaw, so that in itself always the potential for clash of heads. Referee inserted himself, pause a little bit more than I would have preferred, but I saw something in Dubois. Johnny Nelson said that if Katie Taylor wants to make the fight now, she should, while she can kind of take Dubois, because Dubois still a little, I forgot how he framed it, but basically saying like youth or inexperience or something like that. And I happen to think the absolute opposite. Dubois had to be told by her corner to kind of reel it in. And when I watched the fight, I saw somebody that fights and punches. Yes, a skillful operator, she likes to refer to herself and those of her ilk. But she's mean. She's a mean girl with mean punches. And that lead right hand is going to continue to lead her throughout the lightweight division, in my belief, to unify all of the titles. So I also saw something. Well, let's talk about the division a little bit. I believe this bout was kind of an audition for a Beatriz Freire style of fighter, especially with the height and the reach disadvantage that Freire will have against Dubois. So I know that skillfully and tactically, Freire is probably better than what Moreno was. But coming off of the Olympics, yeah, that may be some emboldenment, man. But I got Dubois. And as a matter of fact, double us back to the Katie Taylor point. I got Dubois. If Taylor wants to come down to 35, I got Dubois over Taylor. I don't see the inexperience, because what I do see is when, Taylor might try to use those veteran tactics, Dubois loves to go to the body. And the straight left is harder than what people assume because they're so busy trying to duck her right. Yeah, so I see her wearing Taylor down and winning that bout. I also see her beating Freire. I also see her stopping Rhiannon Dixon. No disrespect to Dixon. I just think that if it came down to it on those clinches, the way I saw Dubois operating against a rough and tough fighter like Moreno, yeah, and Dixon's probably going to try to stay light on her feet and dance her dance, but nah. Dixon has the least advantage against Dubois, respectfully. A world champion. How could I say that? Because I watch boxing, man, and I'm paying attention. So that being said, there's a potential bout, like a super bout. I'm not the one that introduced it, but Sweet Caroline asked the fans what bouts could be next, and she happens to favor a showdown with Alycia Baumgardner. I happen to favor that bout because when I saw Dubois fighting, literally, I said, yo, there's nobody else cutting off the ring and throwing punches with this bad intentions than Alycia Baumgardner. And it's creating a type of super fight. Again, maybe perhaps people feel like Dubois should unify and become undisputed, but I don't want that to have to be the thing in women's boxing. A woman got to go undisputed and then move up in weight. Like, if you can move up and strike while the iron is hot, if that fight presents itself. And this isn't as complicated as, Baumgardner and Taylor and Serrano and Shields. This is one division up. This is 30 to 35. And I think this is a very, very plausible fight. I also, in my mind, had it that should the opportunity present itself, especially against Chantel Cameron, even off that, I know there's a WBC title only, but really, at 140, Caroline can take 142 when she's ready. She can take 140 when she's ready. Respectfully, she's taking 140 when she's ready. But first, the landlord of 135 has work to do. So, professional action recap. As far as the women's side of things, as far as the Olympics, No medals for stateside. No, 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 no. And I have an opinion about USA Boxing that I'll save for another day or another platform. But hats off to what's it, Christy? What's Shorty's name? Christy Harrington. Kelly Harrington. I'm saying you wanna know why? I'm thinking Christy Babington. And all my UK constituents know who Christy Babington is. But Kelly Harrington, double gold from Ireland, did what not even Katie Taylor could do. She's more in the vein of Clarissa Shields. Funny thing though, I'm hearing that she's gonna retire. I don't know if she's gonna retire from the Olympics or retire from boxing. Not really sure. But yeah, hats off to her. Gold back to back. She won the gold in Tokyo, and now she's won the gold in Paris. So salute to Kelly Paddington. All right. Beatriz Ferreira, I just talked about her. She won the bronze. She won the silver medal previously in Tokyo, but this time taking home the bronze medal. So she is medaled twice in back-to-back Olympics. Hell of a pedigree. And by the way, I'm sorry, she's the IBF lightweight division world champion. Remember, I posed a question a week or some weeks ago. Do pros belong in the Olympics? And so I'm just wondering what the transition will be like. And I'm not sure that it's a big deal, but that's where I had some of the questions about Ferreira's pro style, even though she can punch at 135. She ain't gonna be stopping too many people. I mean, no one really is in women's boxing, period. But she's not going to be able to rely on that power. And then her speed and her quickness, yeah, she's gonna have some difficulty with longer, tall fighters or fighters that like to work off of the jab. But hats off to her. And again, coming back to the pro landscape, maybe a warm-up bout. Don't go to no title bout, just kind of adjusting from that Olympic style to the pro style, right? Or maybe she's ambidextrous in that way. We'll have to see. But I advise you take something to warm up, all right? Speaking of warming up, I'm warming up to Alycia Baumgardner's bout with Delfine Persoon of Belgium. This bout, I've got clarification. I think I mentioned it. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But I am saying that this bout has been scheduled for the 27th of September in Atlanta. And there's some unique things about this. Number one, it's going to be an all women's card. Can't wait to see who's announced on the undercard. I'm hoping O'Shea Jones, who has a slight residency fighting out of Atlanta, even though she's from Ohio, fighting with Overtime Boxing, Overtime Elite. She's been fighting in Atlanta, so maybe O'Shea Jones will appear on this card. The undercard has not been announced, and there will be no tickets. Somehow or another, I believe the circumstances are which the investors, almost like an NFT of fights. I guess all the shareholders and investors will be the only people in attendance, and whoever they want to market it or sell it to or trade it to or whatever it is, but it'll come sort of a commodity. Either way, we will be able to get a chance to see this for free. I believe both on Fubo and Fubo Sports, not Fubo, 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 not fat, not Queens Fubu, not the clothing. And Tubi, I believe. So this is a very unique opportunity to get women's boxing on a very wide market, for free with no restraints, right? No looking for it, on a particular channel and all these sorts of things. Plus, in a city like Atlanta, that is known for a prolific amount of women, one way or another, you would think that they might have some interest in taking in the fight and watching one Alycia Baumgardner defend her undisputed super lightweight division title. So I'm clear on that one. I'm also clear, right? It ain't the South African girl. So this is a fight of epic proportions. I had to do some presidential shit right quick. It's been announced that Sandy Ryan will face Mikaela Mayer in the main event of a top-ranked promotions card. On this undercard, you'll have Xander Zayas and Bruce Carrington, but the WBO women's title bout will be the main event. I'm going to be in attendance. All right. So Sandy Ryan, the best welterweight in my opinion. Not only did she already see people, I don't respectfully, Mikaela Mayer is a legend in her own right because she was a part of that historic all women's card. Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, a part of that whole thing. So when a fighter like Sandy Ryan, who is a guest part of the second generation, has already made herself or achieved legendary status by that bout with Jessica McCaskill, because it was one of those controversial things. It's like, it's like Whitaker Chavez. It's like we saw the outcome, but we know who won the fight. So now, yet another opportunity, and this is what they do. She's got Terry Harper on her resume, right? Mikaela Mayer, tough opponent. Some believe she beat Natasha Jonas. Many believe she beat Natasha Jonas. And Sandy Ryan is not sidestepping us. So just when y'all thought she had issues with facing Stephanie Aquino, nah, man, Sandy Ryan is about that action. I believe this will be a second time coming stateside to New York City. I'm feeling like Sting and the Police. I'm an Englishman in New York. All right. Yeah, this is going to be great, man. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. It's going to be great. And there's some things in the background that may come out. I'm pretty sure, Sandy is more like, I'll talk about you. I'm going to see you when I see you. Mikaela Mayer may be a little bit more vocal about the issues with the staffing and the coaches or things like that. So she may have that animosity, but I mean, I don't want to give nobody no hints because I don't even gamble like that. But put it like this: Sandy could really fight at 154. Mikaela's really coming up from 130. Mikaela can fight. So can Sandy. Sandy's got known power. The bigger fighter. If she wants to switch to southpaw, she could. She just might. Then you got the relationship with the coaching staff, who's sharing tips or who has insight or lots of elements that I'm sure will play out in the days to come. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a fight of epic proportions in the greatest city in the fucking world, New York City. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. So be tuned in to all of the media, the public workouts, the press conferences. Trust me, this is going to be exciting. So let's talk about exciting. We got some action that people may or may not find easily or readily available, but we do got some good stuff out there. Maureen Shea. Now, I don't know if the movie was actually based on her $1 Million Baby. Her and Hilary Swank could gonna pass for familiarity, but long story short, from the Bronx, moved out to Florida, found boxing one way or another, and not really a significant or substantial record, although I can say she was around in the same time as the pioneers, meaning the Serranos and the Heather Hardys. Did she fight Serrano or Heather Hardy? No. So, she was around. So now she's back around. She was also once upon a time scheduled to fight Ellie Skoltney, but Shanika Sugar Neeks Johnson ended up taking that bout, and we see how that one played out. So Shea will be in action this weekend. Pretty good fight. It's kind of I guess a test in the waters, although she was just in action in March. So I don't know what she's really working to or working towards, but she's in the super bantamweight division. She's already got a loss to Brittany Sims of Ohio, who is highly ranked in the bantamweight division. So maybe Shea is trying to fight her way into that bantamweight tournament. She must have watched the episode and heard she could make a play for the bantamweight tournament. Who knows? But she is in action. I'm not sure what that is going. I think it might be on the undercard of the Golden Boy card, or I don't know, man. But shout out to Maureen Shea. Now, two bouts that will be on the undercard. One of them has been slightly diminished by some travel and visa issues. We were supposed to have Emma Kozin versus Cecilia Braekhus. for the unified WBC and WBO Super Welterweight division titles held by Kozin. There's some visa issues. Kozin couldn't get in the country. I don't know how this thing wasn't resolved months ago, but maybe I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying, like, you know, come on, man. Like, come on. But either way, Marisella Cornejo, who is a veteran, she's much better than a journeywoman. Um, I would definitely say a professional, let's just call her a professional fighter. She shared the ring with Clarissa Shields as a late replacement when Hannah Gabriels was unable to make that bout. So she's, she's been in there, and she's also had a couple good fights recently, some relatively solid wins. And now here she is because she's active. Again, a professional ready to step in. And the Braekhus Cornejo fight will now be for a WBC interim title. So hopefully Kozin and the winner of this bout will meet to clarify, who's the full WBC, and also that WBO should be on the line. But this is on the undercard of Sergey Bohaichik and Virgil Ortiz, which is this weekend on Saturday. Now, also on this card, you got another title bout. You have Gabriela Sweet Poison Fundora making her return to action, defending against a pretty solid opponent, Daniela Asenjo from Chile. And I looked at her box rec. She's got some pretty, I guess, I would say solid wins. Because even though she may have been more experienced than her opponent, the opponents were above, at least at winning percentages. All right. And some of these women have gone on to still continue to have winning records. So usually a tell that a fighter is pretty active against solid competition. Fundora obviously has been active against solid competition, but she's returning to action. And I think part of the reason is, what is she at 112? 112, it's not a lot going on at 112. I mean, it's flyweight, sure, but the titles are kind of, held up. Like, who's my girl? Is it, no, Alaniz, Chucky Alaniz just got all the belts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just got that division lightened up a bit. So, we really got to see. We really got to see. I mean, listen, I seen Chucky Alaniz getting back to training. She hasn't had a bout since she's won the title. So maybe we see her in action before we get the unification. But Fundora, I mean, my point is, who's she going to fight unless she's looking for the unification with La Chucky? All right. So we need to see that happen. So before that happens, we need to see what Fundora does this weekend. Is she going to go for the knockout, or has she developed some more wrinkles to her game? All right. Last but not least, you're going to have the pro debut of Jenna Creason. Was supposed to make her debut maybe a card or two, a Golden Boy card or two ago, but this is her opportunity to strike this weekend, and so tune into that. So you got 3 bouts on this particular card, and that's pretty much this weekend's action. I know there's a couple miscellaneous bouts, I believe out in Argentina, Mexico, somewhere, but can't chase everything down, you can only pay attention to what's most important. What's most important that you guys decide to join me. Drop a comment, drop a like, feel free to share this video, because women's boxing is boxing, and boxing is this thing of ours. All right, boys and girls, appreciate you. Peace.